everyone, welcome back to another weekly rotations video, the first weekly rotations of the new year of 2026. And I started doing this series last year off of a lot of recommendations. People want to see everything I've worn all through the week so we can kind of get a familiarity with my collection. And I can show you that I do more than just cheapies, even though that is what the channel is all about. Again, it's showing you everything I've worn all the way through the week. There's day and nighttime, and it's all for my collection. So some maybe designers, some maybe niche or indie, but most of them are going to be cheapies because that is what I enjoy collecting and what this channel is all about. Starting off with the first day of last week on Sunday, it was my usual church going routine. Decided to wear one that I don't wear a whole lot of. I do really love it. It's very underrated, but for some reason, I just don't find myself reaching a whole lot for it, even though it is excellent. It is by Bentley, and it is this one called Bentley Momentum Intense. And I really do want to collect the whole Bentley Momentum line because it's a very underrated line, and I have a lot of great hits. And more than just the Bentley for Men line, this is a great one as well. Very, very reminiscent to CH for Men by Carolina Herrera, the one that is the sweet leather grassy green fragrance. It's a very sexy, seductive, masculine style, and for a while it thought to be discontinued, and even though people do complain about the performance, this fixes that in every way possible. Pretty much 99+% accuracy, like very much dead on, but is way better in performance all the way around. Both projection and longevity lasted me almost the whole entire day. Like I might as well have everything that I had to do. I could smell it all through it. Very well performance, very woody, very spicy, ambery, a little resinous as well, but a lot of spiciness, a little bit of that almost green facet. Even though it has a very different note breakdown from the original CH for Men, it very much smells just like it. It's absolutely fantastic. I think you can find it for still well under $40 now, even with the rest of the Momentum line. This is also perfumed by one of my favorite perfumers, Natalie Lorson, so it's no wonder it still smells so good. But yeah, if you haven't get your hands on this before or any of the Momentum line, definitely pick them up. They are fantastic. This is the next day, the first day of the work week. Decided to wear one that not a whole lot of people may think of as a good work fragrance, but I think that in the cooler weather, it fits perfectly, especially if you're a more mature guy who wants to have a little more of a refined kind of signature. This is a cologne fragrance by Rasasi, and I know it is very well hyped in the cheapy fragrance community, especially the Middle Eastern fragrance community. And this one is called Darij pour Homme. And I have talked about this one a good bit. I know I've seen Mr. Smelly or Dan from Mr. Smelly's channel, even Dustin from the Fragrance Fan channel talked about this, and even a few other people, Ash from Jensen's talked about it, because it is a clone of a discontinued fragrance, which is V by Valentino. This is one that has a little bit of a menthol kind of effect, freshness on the top, a good bit of vanilla, very spicy, a lot of cardamom, a little bit of a rosy floral aspect in the middle, very ambery, warm, like soft, powdery woods as it goes down, a little bit musky, but still, like I said, powdery through and through. It smells fantastic. If you're a older or you're just more mature, you want it to be more refined kind of gentleman's signature with a good bit of sweetness in it, this is your go-to for it. Really, really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of sinus problems going on for the majority of the week, so I didn't really smell it all that much on me. I just trusted and knew that it was gonna smell good. Sprayed it up a good bit, and as far as I could tell, it lasted almost the whole entire work day, so right at the average mark, maybe a tad under that, with everything as far as projection and longevity, but absolutely fantastic. Not a clone fragrance you're gonna hear a whole lot of people talk about now, even though it used to be hyped a few years back, but one that still deserves the hype, especially, like I said, if you're a more mature guy who wants a sweet signature, but something that's a little more classy, more of your age range or more of your style, this is a great one to go with. It is really good. And in that nighttime, I don't think I wore anything. Like I said, my sinuses were very bad. I couldn't smell anything, so I didn't see the use in spraying anything if I couldn't smell it. So I just went on to the next day, which is Tuesday, the next work day. Wore one that I have a sample from this company. I have a lot of samples from them. I'm trying to go through, especially the colder weather oriented ones, because I've really gone through all the fresh ones. I'm just waiting until the colder snaps come through so I can keep wearing the colder ones. And this one fit perfect for the next day. I did smell a little bit on me. I was starting to smell a little bit better as it went through. This is from Imaginary Authors, a hyped one from them as well. And this one is called Memoirs of a Trespasser. And I know you really can't see the text on there, but it is Memoirs of a Trespasser. Ash from Jensen's talked about this one in a recent video he did, and I saw someone else talk about it as well, like one of their favorite vanilla scented fragrances, and I don't really get a whole lot of vanilla with this. I do see the aspects they're talking about. It is like a smoky, earthy style of vanilla, very interesting, but I get a lot of more earthiness as far as like I think there's like a terracotta note in here, very much a clay pottery kind of feel. Earthy, a little muddy, a little bit of a dirty, powdery kind of aspect to it. Honestly, it also smells like corn a little bit, but it's very interesting. I do get the vanilla sweetness in here, a little bit of, like I said, smoky aspect. It is very interesting, very unique. I don't know if I'll ever get a full bottle of this, but I did really enjoy it. Like I said, still working through all the colder, weather-oriented ones from Imaginary Authors. Love the company, love their style. There's a lot of things that I still want to get and try out from them, and I highly recommend that you go and get some samples from them. It's a more cheaper, more affordable way of trying out niche indie fragrances, especially those that people keep talking about online. This is one of them I do recommend trying it out because it is very interesting. It's a great daily scent intro from like the spring, fall, and winter. And I do highly recommend trying it if you ever get a sample kit from them. But yeah, it is very interesting, pretty average performance, but nothing that really write home about. It is right there, a little tad under, but still a really enjoyable profile and one that I highly recommend trying out. In the nighttime, I had to go to a meeting. I'm at church, decided to wear one that I haven't worn a whole lot of, and I really strictly wear it in the colder weather, and I absolutely love this one. Another one that I really enjoy from Bentley, and one that you don't hear talked about a whole lot from Bentley for Men, and this is Bentley for Men Absolute. I know a lot of people say this is a clone, have a similarity to the original Gucci Pour Homme, the Gucci Pour Homme 1, not like Gucci Pour Homme 2 that FOMO has a clone of. This is the one that is very like pencil shaving, sandalwood, cedar style of woodiness, like a very dry, smoked. I always said it smells like a wood shop that, the fresh like table saw cut through, that slightly charred, smoked smell of wood. You smell like the sawdust in the air, that kind of woodiness, a little smokiness, a little bit of an earthiness. There is an incense note in here. A good bit of ginger at the top, which gives it not really much of a citrus, but more of a very realistic ginger spice, like a bite to it, along with all that dry woodiness, a little bit of muskiness as well. Absolutely love this stuff. Super classy, super formal, easy to wear in nighttime from anytime in the spring, fall, and winter. Really do love this stuff. Very subtle, not gonna be a loud projector, but a fairly long laster. Just gonna sit intimate and be something that's very enjoyable, has a nice little aura about you. But yeah, love this stuff, absolutely underrated. I think everyone should try it out. In case you don't know that this is from Bentley, definitely need to try it out and see what you think about it. Then the next day on the work day, had a short day, like a half work day, and wore one that I have not worn in a long while. I didn't really wear it on my skin because I was gonna be very close to going to another event and want to spray something else on, so I just sprayed it on the clothes that I was wearing to work that day, so I could just take it off and change and wear something else. But this one is from Ben Sherman, and this one is called Icon. You used to be able to see this everywhere in Ross and TJ Maxx and some other rack stores, and you may still find it out and about if you keep looking. But this is one that has actually a little bit of similarity to this one here by Antonio Puig called Quorum Silver. A little similar to that, but has more of a tobacco aspect to it. Very much a cedar dominant forward note. A little bit of a fruity, citric kind of opening, very masculine, very manly, but like I said, it has a tobacco, aromatic, herbaceous style in the opening, a little bit of an ambery kind of warmth in there as well. Very nice, very great signature for the cooler weather, spring, fall, winter, day or night. Very formal, dressed up, great for office wear. It's fantastic, but one that you might not like if you're not into the older, manly man, almost retro kind of style sense, because it does throw back, but man, this stuff is fantastic and really an okay performer, even on like clothes. It lasted that whole half day, a little past that. I can still smell it on those clothes and I was moving them around a little while later. So one that if you do see out and about, highly recommend it. Again, I used to talk about this one a whole lot in the beginning of the channel and hate that I haven't given it more love and appreciation, so I need to start wearing it a little more because yeah, this stuff is still good. In that nighttime, it was New Year's Eve, and I had a church service to go to. It was like a watch night service. We had a lot of things going on, had a great time, and then came home, chilled with the wife and baby until we got into the New Year's, the first New Year's with the little man, and it was really enjoyable, really nice. We were just waiting on him last year, and this year we got to actually introduce the new year with him, and wore one that I think is really only meant for special occasions and kind of great memories and great times, and it's one that I will only probably wear for special occasions like New Year's Eve and things like that. And it's by Dior, and it is Dior Homme Intense, the Iris Balm. Very much a waxy, Do so creamy, powdery, waxy, makeup-y kind of iris. Very much has a vanilla sweet aspect in there, but there's also an ambrette note here, making it a little bit of a dry, woody, resinous amber kind of feel. Very warm, but also, like I said, a dry aspect to it. Really love this stuff. It's fantastic. I know there's been a reformulation with it recently into like new bottles and new things like that. This is a little bit of an older or somewhat older reformulation, like pre, I think 2024 or so, but really do love this stuff. Absolutely incredible. Not only for everybody, because iris isn't for everybody that gets too powdery, but for iris lovers out there, or for those of you who know, you know, this stuff is legendary. Then that next day was just a day off on the first day of the new year and just enjoying it at home. Went over to my parents' house, we ate, had a good time, and wore one that I opened up in a recent live stream. I got it for originally a haul video that's supposed to be later in this month, but it came as a tester and it was wrapped up in bubble wrap, and I didn't feel like having to deal with that for the haul video, so I just opened it up on the stream. And this one is by a company I've never heard of. It's called Biaggiati, and this is Biaggiati Due Uomo. There's also a female version of this, Due Femme. It's a pink bottle. Very, very interesting stuff. It's very much a mid-2000s style of fragrance, like between 2006, 2008, I believe is when it came out. Has a very citric, fresh opening, but a nice ambery, resinous, almost balsamic style of dry down. Very, very woody, a little bit fresh as well. This is something I could definitely see wearing in the daytime or nighttime in spring, in fall, maybe winter, even summertime. I think maybe in the like mid evenings or so you can wear this. Very interesting, not something that actually lasted a whole lot of time on me. It lasted longer on clothes than on skin. It's very nice, had a nice warm balsamic resinous kind of interesting factor to it. Very ambery, but still one that I'm glad I got. I'm glad I'm trying it out. I didn't get it for a bad price either. I imagine the full size presentation would have been a little more, but yeah, one that is very interesting. If you do happen to see it out and about, you want to try it out, just see what you think about it. Not one to write home about, but one that is still very interesting and different from anything in my collection. And in that nighttime, wore one that is a classic cheapie in the fragrance community, one that has been like a staple when you mention the phrase niche for cheap. This always comes up right along with Bentley for Man Intense and a couple others. There's always been the topic of conversation of Not Blind by Safe, which is something I'll actually be mentioning in a later video this week. So I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about this. You can go see it in that video coming up, but this is one by Lalique, and it is the original Encre Noir. I always love Encre Noir All Extreme, but I kind of wanted to revisit the original and see what I thought about it. And my original thoughts were, you know, kind of sustained. It still stayed the same. Very vetiver forward, very woody, dry woody, a little bit of a spicy citric pop on the top, a little fresher than the All Extreme. Not as patchouli heavy, not incensey, not orris heavy, not as dark, almost chocolatey kind of way like the All Extreme. This is definitely a drier, more fresher, uplifting way, but still one that is a little bit of a darker factor with the way that vetiver comes across. And actually being able to smell actual vetiver oil recently, I'm very surprised at how good this really smells for the price you can get it at. It actually has real vetiver in it, really good quality. I think like 2 or 3 different types of vetiver in here, very natural smelling. It is super, super good quality for the price. When they say niche for cheap, they are not lying. Fantastic stuff, very much a woody forward fragrance as well. So if you don't know if you like vetiver or not, but you like woods, you might still like this one. And a great performance as well. Literally lasted almost all through the night, especially on my clothes. I smelled it way into the night, like right at average, if not a little above that. Fantastic. I was really surprised with it too, with one being a like ET concentration, but one that, again, if you want a niche for cheap or a unique style of fragrance for a good price, this is the best one to go with. Don't listen to all the haters out there trying to downplay this. Even though it is not Blind by Safe, I think it's a little better than what they give it credit for. Just do yourself a favor and try it out when you get the chance. And then that Friday, went back to work and wore one that maybe not a lot of people think of as a like office scent or like a daytime work scent, but I think it worked great, especially the kind of nuances I was getting out of it. I think it very much fits a daytime profile. This is one that is by English Laundry, very hyped from them and for a good reason, and it is the one called Crown. Absolutely love this, very much in the style of Azzaro, The Most Wanted or Wanted by Night, in that area. Has that very lavender, sweet, almost bubblegum style opening, and even throughout it, a little bit of vanilla sweetness, but this actually has a good bit of an aromatic nature to it, almost a bitter style, herbaceous aromatics, a little bit of that woodiness in there, and a lot of musk. I actually think they use a lot of nitro style musk in this. It's very noticeable. If you spray a lot on, you will get a kind of interesting style of musk mixed with those florals and the aromatics. I guess it does complement them and smooth them out, but it does kind of stand out if you know what to look for, but one that is still an amazing quality for the price. You can pick this up for like $14 or $15 at TJ Maxx on the shelf, and I know you'll want to pass by it because it is just sitting out there, probably without the top and whatnot, but you need to do yourself a favor, pick it up, spray it, try it out. It's actually really good and really a more masculine, manly, everyday signature version of Azzaro's The Most Wanted by Night and the original Azzaro Wanted, things like that. Absolutely love this stuff. Fantastic. A staple in the English Laundry line of fragrances. One that you should try out. Performance actually isn't that terrible either. Like I said, the musk does last longer than most of the other sweet stuff, but one you can always reapply and refresh with and enjoy all over again. And then that nighttime started wearing more of literally my last Aaron Terrence Hughes sample, and there's still a little bit left in this, and I'm going to keep enjoying it while I have the chance. But again, I had a lot of ATH's stuff. Love his profile, love his style and personality in perfumery, and this is again the last one I have from a set that my best friend Tommy gave me, and this one is a classic from him called Onyx Extreme. If you love rose center fragrances, this is the kind of fragrance that is for you. Anything Onyx, Onyx Extreme, and a few others as well, but this one made me fall in love with rose style fragrances for men. Aaron does it absolutely right and right up the alley of the kind of things I enjoy. Very much rose, patchouli, a little sweet vanilla, heaviness on musk. It is a bomb performer. Lasts well, like on your clothes, it'll last until you wash them. On your skin, it'll last until you take a shower. It will last you until the next day, even if you spray it on in the morning. And since I sprayed it on that night, it lasted well into the next day on my clothes and skin, everything. This is fantastic stuff, and one that's been kind of reducing down in this vial over time, so it's getting even more concentrated. But yeah, love this stuff. Perfect like for date nights, nighttime, like the bitter cold of winter, even spring and fall. Absolutely love it though. I hate that this is the last sample I have from his stuff, but I do plan on trying to get more of his because again, I love his channel, I love his style, I love everything about what he does in his work. He has great intentions behind the things he does and a great story as well. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to try any of Aaron's stuff, I highly recommend trying it. And then the next day, Saturday, I had to go out and about with a friend of mine. My wife and I went out to help him and his wife to do some church stuff and whatnot out of town, and wore one that I opened up on my live stream along with the Biagiotti one, I think it's the name of it. And I really love this stuff. This is literally a signature now in my collection. If everything else goes, I wanna make sure that I keep this one because man, this stuff is just fantastic. It is by Dolce & Gabbana and it is Pour Homme Intenso. I've had my eye on this for a while and had the chance recently to pick it up for a really good price at TJ Maxx. This stuff is fantastic for you masculine, classic, formal, like old school style of fragrance lovers, like mans that are classed up and dressed. This is for you. It smells like the original Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, but a little more amped up in the aromatics, and the lavender has an added notes of bran and hay and tobacco, adds more of a body to it. This stuff is just absolutely amazing. Like I said, herbaceous aromatics, like very much dried herbs, a little bit of citric top and going pop on the top, a lot of lavender, and as it dries down, like I said, tobacco, a little smoky, a little more herby, has like an interesting like earthy facets to it as well, a lot of patchouli, a little bit of a freshness that runs all the way through it. This stuff is killer daytime, nighttime signature for anything you're doing, spring, fall, winter, maybe sometimes in the summertime if you're indoors, air conditioned at night, you're on a date and things like that, but otherwise this stuff is year-round usability. Really love this. I'm so glad that a lot of people like Ash from JentSense, and even I think Dan from Mr. Smelly, and a few other people still talk about this and give it more appreciation because they're keeping the name alive with it and trying to keep people's awareness about it, and I'm so glad glad because this stuff is fantastic. If you ever get the chance to try this out, and really I think like this and then Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP Intense and the older, like the darker bottle is the ones that, like between the two, both of them are ones that people should try out more of. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to try this out, please do yourself a favor, try it out, especially like I said, if you love formal, classy, masculine style fragrances. This stuff is fantastic and a great performer too. Lasts me almost the whole day, especially on clothes. So average or not a little above that. Superb, superb. Love this stuff. Like I said, it is now a signature in my collection. If everything else goes, I'm still gonna keep this one because man, this is good. And then when I got home that night, I decided to wear one that I got in a sample when I got a certain Fragrance Net order in. Never heard of this. I know the brand, just haven't really bought anything from them. It is by Ajmal, and it's a sample from them called Song of Oud. When I looked at the note breakdown on this, it had iris, it was powdery, things like that, and I was like, man, yeah, I love iris, I love oud, I wonder how this smells. Sprayed it on, immediately fell in love with it. Even though iris is mentioned and a lot of the note accords say that, you know, it's gonna be a dominant accord, I really don't get a lot of powdery iris, like nothing like Dior Homme Intense or Givenchy or, you know, Valentino Uomo, things like that. There's nothing that's like overly powdery. What you're gonna get with this is literally the profile of Initio's Oud for Greatness or even Parfum de Marly's Hautaine, but a lot fresher. It doesn't have that weird metallic style of saffron. It has actually a lot of a sweet, airy, expansive fruitiness in the opening, a lot of florals, especially as it dries down. It's very much a unisex fragrance, perfectly right down the middle. And you get a little bit of that oud woodiness coming up underneath it, a little similarity to that Oud for Greatness profile. And really, I don't think this is meant to be a clone of either of those, Hautaine or Oud for Greatness. I think it's actually just its own thing, and it's like that, but with a twist. It's more original than it is similar to those, but you can't help but draw similar between them because it, and some aspects smells like it, but I think it's actually way better, way more wearable, way more usable for daytime wear, even the summer and springtime, almost all year round, day or night. This stuff is really, really good. It has a little bit of a minty aromatic freshness as it dries down, a lot of clean musks in there, very airy, very airy, like it's almost transparent style of musks. It is absolutely a treat. I will more than likely be buying a full bottle of this, even though it is like above like $30, $40 from discounters, but still worth every penny. I love how it smells. I can't wait to wear more of this sample, but yeah, this stuff completely blindsided me. If you ever get to try this out or get a sample of this, I highly recommend trying it. It is really, really good. Definitely recommend trying it out. It is really much a niche for cheap profile like Encre Noire and some other things, but yeah, this stuff is knockout. Absolutely fantastic. And then the last one today, I'm recording this actually on the Sunday before I upload this video, so next week we'll only cover, you know, Monday through Saturday, but wore one that has been talked about everywhere in the fragrance community. Either you really, really like it or you really, really don't. If you do like it, you have to appreciate things like it. And if you don't like it, I can kind of see where you're coming from with it, but one that is a classic and really a masculine staple in the fragrance community. It is by Gucci, and this one is Gucci Guilty Absolute. I got this in and I've been itching to try it out and wear it, and today was a way cooler day, especially in the daytime. Perfect time of day to wear it as like, you know, my usual church going routine. Why not wear this one here? And guys, this stuff, fantastic. It is very polarizing, very much not for everybody, but if you want a man's man classic signature style scent, this is the one to go with. And if you want something especially that's a classic men's style that is interesting and unique, this is the one to go with. Very much a almost medicinal petrol style of opening with the way that leather comes across, but you really get a lot of that leather, very petrol, violet almost kind of style, and then it dries down, still a little smoky, a little bit animalic, but a lot more of those woods come out. Very almost cedar woody, and a lot of patchouli. The dominant what you get with this is a leather, wood, and patchouli, and then it dries down being more earthy, a little more patchouli, smoky. It's super interesting, very musky. I know Mash Perfumer Alberto Marias did this one and is fantastic. It is great. He also did another that I'll talk about actually later this week called Terra Essence by Bulgari. They have a lot of similarities, but that one is definitely a lot more powdery, earthy, and this is a lot more leathery, woody. But yeah, this stuff, not for everybody, but man, it smells fantastic, especially as it dries down. Give it time on your skin to dry down and those woods come out. It is actually glorious. It is so good. Lasted all day, like literally 9 hours. I counted it, 9 hours on my skin, especially my clothes, all throughout the day. Medium projection overall. This stuff is so good. Again, not for everybody. Highly recommend that you sample it before buying even a bottle of this size. And if you do like it, go out there, try to get it. I know people said it has been discontinued, but I know it's not a cheapie. And I am talking about this, but this is one that I truly have fallen in love with and really encourage trying out, especially if you want to get more into interesting signature masculine fragrances, and this is the one to go with. Again, it is one that not everyone's gonna talk about, not everyone's gonna push you into, but one that I encourage you to try out. I just absolutely really love this stuff. And there you guys, all things I've worn all through the week. If anything in here stood out to you or anything that you want to talk about, anything that you have questions about or you're looking at getting, maybe you have or used to have, let me know all the thoughts, what you think about it in the comments below. Any questions you have or any comments and things you want to put in addition. As usual, if you have enjoyed this video, if you like what you see here, please consider giving the video a like and a thumbs up. Let me know to keep making these weekly rotation videos, that you do enjoy them, they are entertaining, and that you are getting something from it. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you do like what you've seen here or what you've seen elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting the channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all of the things that I'm working on in the background and planning to bring out to all of you for you all to watch and enjoy. I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey. And hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And there you guys, all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.